Thank you, Madam Krala. My name is Jafet Mudhamia.
Okay.
I'm the current principal now in the special school.
Okay.
I'm just 2 weeks old here, but I've had my vast experience handling learners with special needs.
Okay.
Actually, I'm a teacher who has served for that 6 years.
Wow.
So I've had my experience. Learners with special needs, like the word says, they have special needs.
True.
And this will make them stand out from the other learners who are regular. And so for our school or for our home, a family, or our community that is interacting with the learner, they must get to understand those special needs and attend to them.
True.
That way, the child or the learner may be given a support system that can allow them to live a life that is as good as their abilities are. Yes.
Okay, that is a very good introduction. So in your own experience, can a child of cerebral palsy, born with cerebral palsy, actually get to lead a normal life? Like have a job, have a life? Can they get that kind of baggage?
Yes, why not? Why not? Actually, having been in special education for a long time, I can assure you that learners with cerebral palsy tend to have a higher IQ than the average learner, especially in the area of special education. And if they are given the right education, and if they are given the correct support, by these two words I mean an enabling environment from the family where they are accepted and where they are given a loving care so that they gain confidence in themselves, and where they are given like now the physiotherapy, the occupational therapy exercises on time, proper medication where the need is, and where they are given a chance to attend school like any other learner, and where the learning environment at the school is also conducive and good, and with the teachers that are trained and that prepare an IEP, an individualized educational program that will target the weaknesses of the learner and strengthen that, and that will identify the strengths of a learner, the talents they have, and develop that. Why would that child not become a useful member of the society like everybody else?
So it's basically about giving the child specialized attention,
Yes,
but
yes.
also letting them thrive
Yes.
in their specific area where they are actually talented in.
Correct. We have under cases where, like cerebral palsy, it affects more of the muscles, the coordination. Often they may have abilities and a brain that can function well. And for that reason, if they are given proper support, then definitely they can identify something they can do in their lives to become self-reliant. Yes.
So when it comes to the therapies, can you, physiotherapy, the different types of therapy that are there for children with cerebral palsy, or for individuals with cerebral palsy, they are which ones specifically?
Yeah, when we talk about physiotherapy, we are talking about we call it gross motor, the movement of the hand and the arm, the bending, the standing up, the walking. These main activities that involve the movement of the body in a big way. The occupational therapy is about finger dexterity. It's about handling a pen, being able to write, being able to handle small things with their hands, and that is more so in education. Physiotherapy will enable somebody with cerebral palsy to be able to coordinate their walking better, maybe to pick something up, to achieve gait posture that is good when seated and things like that. But occupational therapy will train the fingers, especially when it comes to writing, handling a pen, those details, the fine details. Actually, it's called fine motor. Yes.
Fine motor.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So, how often are the therapy sessions supposed to be?
Normally, this is prescribed by a doctor, depending on the need of the learner. However, most will do the 2 sessions a week. What I have observed over time, at least 2 sessions a week. Sometimes 1, if that is the prescription of the doctor.
Okay, so it means if somebody with cerebral palsy is exposed to 1 therapy session in a month, that is not good.
It cannot be adequate.
It cannot be adequate.
It cannot be adequate because training the muscle, training the body will take time. And sometimes even in addition to the 2 sessions, I've seen doctors advise the caregivers also to continue doing those exercises at home, and that will be very useful.
So according to your own judgment, at least therapies are supposed to be twice a week?
A minimum of twice a week.
Okay. In your own experience within the special needs area, can you tell us maybe some misconceptions that you have met? First of all, to the children with cerebral palsy, and then to yourself as somebody who is really active within the education of special needs persons.
I think that is a Pandora's box. I don't know. We talk about self-awareness campaigns, but if they have been done, they have fallen short of maybe what is expected. I'm saying this because still in this time and era, parents are blamed for bringing forth a child with special needs.
Exactly.
The society looks at the mother and they conclude that either the mother has done something very evil, and for that reason they are being punished by the gods. Sometimes it goes to witchcraft, and so wamerogwa, maybe somebody has done some witchcraft on them. That's why their child is like that. Others will go into there are some communities that believe that for a child to be born like that, then the ancestors must have been unhappy with this particular couple. And so they blame a curse that was placed on the family by an ancestor or maybe a grandfather, somebody, a grandmother. Others will attribute this to poverty, which is not true. But people tend to think that disability is associated with people who are poor. But my experience, I can tell you that disabled children are born in every other family. It does not necessarily have to do with poverty. Maybe the difference is those who are born in a poor setup, the kind of support they get may not be adequate enough. So those who are born within a rich family, maybe they are attended better and they are likely to do better. But the distribution of children that are born with disability cuts across all the classes of people. They are there in Runda and Muthaiga. They are there in Kibera and Korogosh. They are everywhere. It's not about class. It's not about the financial status, the financial status of the family. Yes.
And in your own experience, is there a linkage between maternal health and the child coming out with cerebral palsy? Is there a direct link?
I may not be very sure about that. One thing that we learn is that cerebral palsy is a condition that a child is born with. It is congenital. It is not acquired. It is more often it is congenital than acquired. An accident, trauma that happens after birth can also be a cause, but most of those with cerebral palsy are born with a condition. They are born with that condition. So maybe in that direction of thinking, there is a possibility to link the health of the mother with maybe cerebral palsy, but it cannot be. It's not that clear cut. Sometimes causes go beyond what we can explain.
True. Yeah. Because there could be so many other causes, so it's very difficult to put a finger and say this is what exactly caused cerebral palsy for the child.
True.
In the education system in Kenya, do you think children with cerebral palsy have it already, or there is need to make improvements?
Okay. I will give credit to our government. There is an attempt to attend to the needs of cerebral palsy, and of course as other special needs children, but more could be done. More could be done, especially in the area of early identification, so that because often learners with the cerebral palsy that are identified as having CP at a very early age, and when they are taken for medication and they are attended to by the correct medics, they stand a higher chance of doing better in life than those who are identified later on. So early identification is an area that the government can work on, so that maybe through the health workers and maybe maternal care, the post birth maternal care can allow for early identification. Then maybe the schooling also. In schools, yes, we have teachers that are trained. That is still not adequate. More training is required. Then we have the support staff that handle these learners in schools. Often they lack any training in matters handling. A good number of learners with cerebral palsy will also have conversions. So we need the support staff to be able to provide the first aid and the care that is needed. And that can come, and that can be good when they are trained. Then we can also look at the provision of learning materials, the provision of a friendly learning environment, the provision of support aids, like those that need a wheelchair. In fact, as we talk, sorry to say this, but it's mostly done by NGOs and government organizations. So I wish that our government would come forth with more support that is government driven, because like you see what Trump was saying the other day, we don't know whether outside support will forever be forthcoming. So it would be good if our government also has its own plans to provide support aids for learners with cerebral palsy and those with other special needs.
Just a thought, do you think that if you're saying government support, probably it could be able to come up with incentives to encourage people to get into the special needs area?
Yeah, true. I listened to somebody talk about the best practices out there in other countries, and they were saying sometimes all institutions are given, like now we are talking about tax. So some countries have come up with an idea that every person who is making profit should surrender a portion of their profit to take care of learners with special needs. And this would actually add up to a very big bank. I mean, a pool of money that can be utilized to provide aids and support to cerebral palsy.
I think that's a really good thought. That's a really good thought. Okay, in my final questions, in your own experience, what outside Nairobi, I know you have had a lot of experience within the special needs area. Outside Nairobi, what advice can you be able to give a parent who has just had a child of cerebral palsy, let's say in Kajiado, which I know you have a lot of experience in?
It may cut across maybe many other communities. It is not just one community. But I think a key thing is that parents should accept the learner with the special needs just like that other regular learner. It is a tall order because the wish of every mother, the wish of every father is to bring forth a child that will become a useful member of the society, one who will perform very well and give them pride and, become an example maybe to others. But when a child is born with special needs, and especially cerebral palsy, because cerebral palsy is a bit visible, then ruling the inability to coordinate, the poor posture, the challenge with walking and things, they are so visible as opposed to other disabilities. Like mental retardation is hardly that easy to notice. Some boys that have mental retardation are so handsome, some girls are so beautiful. You're not being until you sit with them and you realize something is not okay. But for the cerebral palsy, they are more visible. And because of this, it will hit hard on the pride of the mother and the father. And the fathers, may God have mercy on us. We take it hard. You take
it quite difficult.
There are examples. I've had experiences where fathers reject completely the child, and it becomes a burden now for the mother. And this need not happen. It is a misunderstanding.
Quite.
And sometimes the mother is blamed. And between me and you, the chromosomes, the 46 chromosomes, each will contribute 23, the other 23. So you are equal contributors to the problem that we have, or to the joy, to the bud of joy that we get. It is a 50-50 contribution, so you cannot blame one partner. But I'm saying the societies, the communities out there need to be sensitized. And they need to be given success stories that we have under kids that were born with cerebral palsy and they are now doing well. I have an example of a boy, I don't want to name him here, from Suswa. The boy was brought to school when he couldn't walk, he was crawling, and he was also very aggressive and negative and all that. But today, he's a welder. He's a welder. He has employed 2 people. I mean, he lives a normal life. So it is important for parents to accept that despite the physical challenges, despite the visible weaknesses that we can see, this child can outgrow them over time, and become a useful member of the society like everybody else.
I think we should stop there. That is
Thank
the best place to finish.
Okay.
The child can be a normal member of society if
Yes.
given the right support, the right love,
Correct.
and to be given space to express themselves, to make as
Correct.
many mistakes as possible, but head towards making the right choice.
Correct, correct.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Madam Krala, and thanks to your organization. You are
Asipotele
Asipotele
Kamwe.
Kamwe.
Yeah.
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
having me in this interview.
And also thank you for welcoming us and for giving us your time. It really does mean a lot.
Thank you. Welcome.
Asante.